So here's last Sunday's message in 2 minutes. So we started going through the book of Romans, and last week we covered the books, or the chapters, Romans 1 and about halfway through Romans 2. And in chapter 1, Paul not only explains the purpose of the letter, but he starts off by saying, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, for it is the power of God unto men for salvation. And see, the gospel, first of all, I should say the first 8 chapters of Romans is a full presentation of the gospel. If you want to fully understand the gospel message, study Romans chapters 1 through 8. Paul's not ashamed of it because the gospel is more than just information. It's actual transformative power. It's the actual power of God to people for salvation. So the first thing Paul addresses with salvation is, what do we need to be saved from? And the answer is simple. We need to be saved from the wrath of God. You see, while God is love, God is also righteous and just, and he demands righteousness and justice. And it says that his wrath is poured out against unrighteousness and ungodliness. Not against people, but against the unrighteousness that is in people. And so Paul goes on and explains that we all have this nature to sin, and that when we remove God from things, when we look at, like, God is unmistakable in creation, but then we took creation and we said, no, let's use human wisdom and call it the Big Bang Theory. And then, like, people were made in the image of God, and we said, nah, let's look at evolution. And Paul says that people who profess to be wise became fools because they traded the knowledge of God for things created by man. And when that happens, we become depraved and we get into all sorts of depravity, and society becomes totally wicked and completely far away from God. And we have seen this in our society and societies all around the world. Now, in chapter 2, he moves on and says, okay, but what about people who are not that bad, who are not out doing all this stuff, but are actually trying to do good? Because there are people, apart from God, who are trying to live good lives and be good people. But Paul says that's a problem too, because no matter how good we are, we fall short of the righteousness of God. He is perfect, and his perfection demands perfection from us. So if we're guilty in any one area, even if it's just in our thoughts, then we're just as guilty as the people who are full-on depraved and acting out in all kinds of horrible sins. And so the truth is, mankind is in need of a savior. Now, fortunately, the story doesn't end there, but our message on Sunday did. You know, there is actual hope and salvation coming, and there's actually even more reasons why we need a savior, but we will get into that next week. So that's it for now. Bye.